Yeah, SEMO games wrapped up. We met yesterday. Got everything that we needed said. Got everything that we needed accomplished. So we're done, and we're on the Austin Peay. Um, you know, be a day of the game travel. Right down the road, be a 4 o'clock game. So be a little bit different there, and looking forward to going out and having another chance to compete.
Coach, before the game, I noticed that Cameron Burst wasn't the number 2 on the depth chart.
Yep.
I was informed there may be some sort of inquiry involved. What does that detail, or is there anything you can comment on that?
No, I can't comment on much. It's a NCAA deal with him, so and it's kind of a pending process. Very unfortunate circumstance for the kid. Nothing that has anything to do with Murray State, myself, or anything like that. This university, but just because it's kind of an ongoing situation, I can't comment on it.
We also saw some other depth chart changes. I saw Jonathan Moss starting.
Yep.
Nigel Walton over Marquette Stanford.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I heard that Quincy Williams was injured. Maybe just some comments on
Yeah.
some of the changes on depth chart.
Yeah, Quincy will be back. He had a concussion, and he tested today and passed, so he should be fine. And then the other two, we're just, we're always day by day around here. I've always said our kind of one of our things that we talk about is our 24/1 mentality, and that means that every day you go out to practice, you got to be the best at practice. And if you string together enough days of being the best at practice, we're going to make that move. And I had a situation where at receiver where we started some guys. I think Mitch Stewart started at H and Jonathan Moss started at Z right there, just because coming off the week prior to that, we didn't have a lot of plays being made. So we wanted to shake some things up, and our kids understand that. Every position guy understands that this is a day-by-day process. And Sanford, he had a little deal on his elbow that kept him away from getting as many reps as he normally does during the week. And Nigel Walton came in there, and he had a really good week of practice. So we moved him up, and we'll continue to do that every week, just so we can get the best 11 out on the field at all times. KD will keep his regimen the same. He'll go through the week and do pretty much nothing but mental reps. We'll limit his throwing as much as we can. He may take one day where he gets some warm-ups and just to get the rust knocked off. But he'll stay right behind the quarterback going, and he'll take mental reps, and then and then we'll let him go out there on Saturday. I told him after the game I've probably been screwing him up to this point, because I should have been doing that his whole career, just letting him go out to practice, take mental reps, and then go out to the game and throw for 341 and no interceptions. So maybe that was bad coaching on my part.
What's the mood of the team and the staff right now?
Doing great. This team's incredible, man. And I told somebody this morning. As a parent, I'm a parent of 2 young girls, and as a parent, it's hard enough to get your kids just to brush their teeth, brush their hair, go to bed when they're supposed to, and all of that type of stuff. It's incredibly tough to change a belief system and a culture of 90-some-odd teenagers or 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds. But that's what we're doing. We had an incredible team meeting yesterday. The thing about it is everybody understands where the shortcomings were. There was no finger pointing, no anything like that. We're doing this thing together. This is a team thing, and we're going to stay that way. And these kids, man, they've been incredible group to coach, and they want to change. They want to change the look of this football team. They want to change the culture that this team has. That is our main goal. Now, does that mean that every Saturday we're going to go out there and we're going to win? No, it doesn't. But we're up for the challenge of doing that, and those kids are up for the challenge of doing that. And and the staff, they're good. I think that after the game, a lot of the staff was more heartbroken for the kids more than the kids were, just because we do have such great kids, and we really feel that they deserve a chance at that feeling of success. They really do. I think that they do what they need to do, to earn that chance. We're just every once in a while we don't make a play and they do, or we don't make it's like the other night, we don't make a kick and they do, or we don't make a run and they do, or whatever the case may be. We're just not there yet, and I watch on film, man, I'm watching their punt returner. He goes and fields the ball on the 2-yard line, and we have literally 5 guys. We have 3 to his right, 1 in front of him, and 1 to the left, and he returns it for a 28-yard return, and almost could have got to the house if it wasn't for Mario McGraw getting up off the ground and making the tackle. And those kind of things right there, just some things that we're having to work through right now.
Coach, we saw Jesse Blackburn returning punts on Saturday.
Yep.
Not doing too bad of a job at it. Is that an emergency situation?
Somewhat. Malik Golson went out with a concussion on a kickoff coverage. He went down there and got dinged up on the head pretty good on a kickoff coverage. So, but Blackburn's been our backup guy. The only thing that we did different with him is normally we tell him to fair catch it back there, and we took the training wheels off of him and said, look, man, if you want to return it, see if you can make something happen, and he did. He's pretty odd to look at back there. You don't normally see a 250-pound punt returner, but I thought he did an incredible job. I tell you, he did an incredible job. In a couple of different phases. Offensively, obviously, he had the big catch and big run, and he's always been a factor for us offensively. We moved him in on the punt team. And he didn't have a lot of time to rep that out this week, but we had to make a change there, and I thought he did a tremendous job there. And then obviously on punt return, I think that he has the ability to make some things happen back there as well.
Common theme this year for the races is facing new coaches. Austin Peay has another new coach this year. What do you know about that? Have they made changes?
Yeah, well, the thing about them, obviously I know two of their coaches. They came from me with Coach Cooper and Coach Hicks. But I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about their, like Coach Cooper. He's the co-defensive coordinator down there, but I don't know a whole lot about his philosophy on defense or anything like that, because when he was here, obviously it was Coach Boone's philosophy that was on the field. So I don't know the personality of the defense right now other than what I see on film. And with Coach Healy, you really don't know what to expect. The same is said for him, because I haven't seen one of his offenses in person or anything like that. Because when he was at Chattanooga, he wasn't running the offense, so it'll be new. But like I've always said, we're gonna do what we do because we believe wholeheartedly. And this team believes wholeheartedly in what we're doing. They also believe in the fact that we've got to make some adjustments and make some corrections and things like that. But we're going to stay we're going to hold fast. We're going to stay true to what we believe, and we're going to do what we do, and we'll show up on game day and we'll adjust if needed. And we'll try to put a plan together that's as learnable as it can be for all the new moving parts that we have. And you get into this time of season, you got some personnel issues, some injuries and things that you're having to move around and put some different people in different places. So we'll do that and we'll move forward.
Coach, the running game, I know that continues to be an issue week in and week out.
Yeah.
Is that something that's kind of keeping you guys up at night right now?
Yeah. Our issue, and it was no more evident than that second to the last drive. Okay, and our issue offensively is we can't run it. In the past few weeks, we've seen nothing but press man coverage, okay? And what that does is that puts you in a situation where everything that you do has to be down the field. It has to be big balls. And we're living and dying on big balls right now. Now, Is that a bad thing? No, because we made quite a few of them. You know, we had DJ's big touchdown reception on the 6th play of the game. We had Mario McGraw up the pipe for a big gain. We had Jesse on his 80-yard big gain. We've hit Gandy on some big gains and things like that. But when you can't run it and you're having to rely on those 50-50 balls, you can't get mad when you're making them 50% of the time. And that's not really my MO on offense. Okay, I don't. Quarterback's not supposed to be down there in the 50s in his completion percentage and all that. It just ain't the way we operate. And then that second to the last drive, the problem is we've got the ball with 4 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever, and that's a perfect time. We've got to be able to run the clock out. Okay, everybody in the stadium knows we've got to be able to run the clock out. So what do? We run it on first down, and boom, we take a 3 or 4 yard loss. And that had kind of been the theme of the night right there. So now I'm going, well, let's see if we can get a quick, easy hitter, a quick, easy pass to get us a positive play so that we can try to get a first down right there. And, well, you get man press coverage, so what do? We've got to throw the man press ball. We don't have another, an out cut versus man press ain't exactly great. So we throw the man press ball, and it's incomplete. Well, you stop the clock. Well, now you're 3rd and 13, and you got to throw just to try to make a first down. We don't wind up running any time off the clock. They get the ball back, and they go right down the field, and they score. Then on the other end, you take our last drive, and people asked me, said, Coach, why did you get down there? Why didn't you run more plays? You had 32 seconds or whatever and one timeout. Why didn't you run more plays? And the answer is, quite frankly, what do you want me to run? I just run a stretch play, which is the most comfortable play we have, and I lost 3 yards. So I went from the ball being on the 19 to the ball being on the 21 or 22-yard line. The last thing I want to do is run another run play and lose more yards, and that field goal just keeps on going back and back and back. So all of those things play into your decision as a play caller and how the end of that game worked out. Now, I will say this. The best thing, is what I told the players, was with all of that being said, as bad as we're playing right now, okay, as bad as some things are and some of the growing pains that we're having right now, we still, at the end of that game, had a 37-yard chance to win. You know what I mean? At the end of that game, as bad as that was, we still had a 37-yard chance to win right there. And I think that's a huge testament to those kids back there in that locker room of continuing to fight, and these coaches continuing to fight and continuing to try to make something happen. Because, I tell you, man, Saturdays have been a lot of fun because we're doing an awful lot of adjusting on Saturdays just because, we didn't make a play here, didn't make a play there, or had to move a personnel here, had to move a personnel there, and all of a sudden we're using those whiteboards a lot on the sideline, which is what you're supposed to do. That's what coaching's all about, and it's made it an awful lot of fun, but we're going to continue to have to do that.
Any hope of getting Dodson back on the field?
I don't think so. He's going to the doctor today. I don't really know. His X-rays, all the X-rays have been negative, but he hasn't had a lot of improvement, so I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Just be perfectly honest with you.